Honeybees are one of the most vital insects for the agriculture industry, but the population has seen a 50% mortality rate since 2006. Now a team of researchers at the University of Lethbridge are hoping to get one step closer to understanding how those viruses are transmitted. Carson Marsouk reports.
Alberta is home to about 40% of the total honeybee population in all of Canada.
Honeybees are the primary pollinator for all of our food crops that require bee pollinations.
But over the years, the honeybee population has faced a high winter mortality rate as a result of parasites, viral and bacterial infections, and weather.
Primary among those is a mite called the varroa mite. And that feeds directly on the bee, but it also transmits a number of different viruses. And those viruses can have long-standing health impacts on the bees, even after you get rid of the mite parasite itself.
And while honeybees continue to die off at a high rate, Shelley Hoover says there's currently no cure, at least until now.
This research, the goal is to understand these viruses and how they operate in a honeybee as a host.
4 researchers have been granted $400,000 to better understand how viruses are transmitted among honeybees and what can be done to prevent the spread of the viruses.
What happens to honeybees once the viruses infect to honeybees, and how honeybees' immune system responds to those infections. So those are a couple of questions that we will look at step-by-step process.
The disease spread through honeybees drifting into different colonies, out in the ecosystem, and by management of the beekeeper. The 2 to 3 year study will help boost understanding of how RNA viruses interact with host proteins to slow the mortality rate.
Inside the lab, we'll have getting samples that are infected with viruses and without viruses from Dr. Hoover, looking at those viruses, isolating them from honeybee samples, and looking at those RNA molecules and how the structures look like.
Carson Marsouk, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Funding for the project was approved by Alberta Innovates and results-driven agriculture research.